Okay, runners, this one is for you. It's not really a yoga practice, but just a nice short kind of stretch out of yoga postures that are really great if you run to sort of target the main places that you're tight or tend to get injured. So make sure you're breathing in a yogic way, really deep and smooth inhales and exhales through your nose. Don't hold your breath. You shouldn't be straining. If you do this short sequence regularly 2, 3, 4 times a week, you'll find that the postures will get a lot easier. Your body will open, your running will feel easier, and you'll definitely be injured less and maybe not at all. Okay, let's start. Feet hip distance apart, parallel. Spread your toes and lengthen them out. Bend your knees a whole lot. Elbows resting on top. Just lightly interlace your fingers and dangle your head. So don't worry about straightening your legs. We'll get into the hamstrings soon. Just let everything dangle. The spine gets long. Maybe shake out the head and the neck. Try to feel the four corners of each foot evenly weighted. Keep your knees bent, let your elbows slip off so you're dangling a little deeper. Maybe the belly is on the thighs or the chest is on your knees. You can sway a little bit to release the back muscles. Go ahead and bring your fingertips to the ground on either side of your feet. And step your left foot back pretty far. So we're going to find a lunge position. You can wiggle your back toes back until it feels long enough and deep enough. Soften your back knee to the ground. If it feels too much pressure on your kneecap, double your mat like so, or put a towel under your knee so it's a little more soft and cushy. Really sink through the hips and lift through the heart. Been doing this practice for a while, this isn't the first time you've watched this video, or you're quite open already, you might want to deepen what's happening in the hip flexor and the quadricep by taking the left hand wide and reaching back with the right hand for the left foot. If you have really tight hamstrings, you might not want to do this one because it could cramp up that back hamstring, and do it really slowly. If you move too quickly into this, again, it could get that hamstring to go into a cramp, which does not feel very good. And then from your lunge, start to walk your hands back. Start to lift your hips up so the front leg straightens. You're going to lift the right toes super high. So now you're going to start to feel that front hamstring. If this is too intense, if you have yoga blocks or even books, you can put your hands up higher. Okay, make it work for you. Walk it out. Press into your palms, and we're just going to do one downward dog today. So you're going to step it all the way back. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Your feet are hip width apart. You might pedal the feet slowly. Bend one knee while you sink the opposite heel. And bend the other knee. Do it slow. Take your time. No rush in yoga. Try to sink both heels as close to the ground as you can. Doesn't matter if they touch or not, so long as you feel a good stretch up the backs of the legs, all the way from the heels to the hips. That's great, you're in the pose. Root into your hands and try to reach your hips back more. Slight tuck of the chin, look towards your legs or your belly. Take a few more breaths. We do the same lunges on the left side. Go ahead and take your left foot forward. It might take one big step, or you might need a couple of little steps. Make sure the foot gets right between your two hands. Drop your back knee. Your knee always should be right on top of the ankle. Check that alignment. You don't want to look like this. It's too much stress on the knee. So get that foot all the way up. Sink into it. Lift the chest and breathe deeply. Notice if you're the same on both sides, or maybe you're more open or more tight on one side. That's common. Just try to notice that, and you might stay longer on your tighter side, if that's the case. Okay, staying here for a few more breaths, or if you want that intensity to deepen, right hand out wide, slowly reaching the left hand for the right foot. walk your hands back, straighten your front leg, the toes lift up, hands wherever you need to take them to support you. So you can do this short practice before you run or after you run, or both would be amazing. Or you could do it on your rest days, on your off days. Or I challenge you to do it every single day and see what happens. It might be pretty awesome. Walk it forward and step your right foot beside your left foot again so you're about hip distance apart. If you can, grab your big toes here, or you might just take your fingertips to the ground, or if you're pretty tight, you might just be at the shins or the ankles. That's okay. For now, we're gonna open the body by doing this more regularly. Inhale, lengthen, lift your heart, and just straighten your knees as much as you can without forcing. And as you exhale, start to pull your body towards those strong, straight legs. Try to push more weight into your toes. Relax your head, maybe shake out the neck again, and breathe here. Bend your knees and just roll up slowly through the spine. Hang your arms and your head like a rag doll. We're going to do a nice balance that's going to help your ankle become stronger and more stable, and also open up through the glutes and the hips. So let's stand on the right foot first. It doesn't really matter though. And cross the left ankle on top of the knee, and slowly sit down as if your bum is looking for a chair. So it might just be a little bit if your hips are really tight. Or you might take your hands and your forearms all the way to the shin. If you're really open, hands might make it to the floor. Okay, breathe. And then use an inhale to come up slowly. So we're holding everything for about 5 deep breaths. And release. And then spread out your left toes or the other side from whatever you just did. Cross the ankle over the knee and slowly down. You can stay as high or you can go as low as you need to so that it's just right for the condition of your body today. And maybe you're stiffer after a big run. And maybe on rest days you're feeling a little looser. So your practice is going to be different every day, and that's okay. Try to keep your balance, and then release. Okay, let's take one more set of lunges. Left foot is going to go back pretty far, 4 to 5 feet. Curl your back toes, the back heel is lifted, and then try to lunge into your front knee so that it's 90 degrees or so, right on top of the ankle. Definitely not beyond, definitely not over the toes. If you're balanced enough, send the hands high, relax your shoulders, breathe. Clasp your fingers behind your back. Inhale, just lift the arms a little bit, lift through the chest. You might look up. Feel an openness through the chest and the shoulders. Now the opposite, hands on the knee. Bend into your back knee and round your back, especially the low back. So suck in your belly, make your back round, tuck in the chin, look down at your front knee. Even look to your left front of hip flexor. That's where you should feel this. And just step it forward. We'll switch it up, send the right foot all the way back, super long. Curl the back toes, lift the heel, and then strong bend in the front knee, but not too much. Hands go high. Clasp your fingers behind the back. Inhale, open the heart and the shoulders. If you find yourself having a lot more time, some days you could do this twice in a row. Or if your laptop is right beside your mat, you could pause and stay in each of these poses longer. 10, 15, 20 breaths. Hands to the front knee, bend your back knee, round, spin your belly, make your back like the letter C, chin to chest, looking down. Deep hip flexor stretch on the back leg. Stretching out the hip flexors, making them long and supple and soft, can take a lot of pressure out of the low back. Sometimes when we have a sore, tight low back, it's because our hip flexors are so tight. It's pulling us out of whack, pulling the pelvis in the wrong direction, pulling on the back muscles. Good, step it forward, just give it a little shake, and let's come down. Just sit down. Couple more to go. Straight legs. Get your sitting bones grounded, move your bum cheeks out of the way. And lift all of your toes up. Make your feet and your legs super active. Reach forward as you inhale. Doesn't matter where you get to, but relax your shoulders and arms. You don't have to pull like crazy. And exhale, fold forward by sucking in the belly. Letting the head drop towards the legs. Don't worry about how deep you go. Just think about how you are when you get there. Can you relax? Can you breathe? Make sure you're never causing any harm. Right? We're doing these postures to help the body, to heal the body. Down on your back. Let's strengthen the hamstrings and the back and open the hip flexors in bridge pose. Laying down with the feet open as wide as your hips or even a little wider. Drag your heels right up close to your hips and your fingertips to your heels. Lift slowly. It's not a race. Every toe pressing down, the toes don't lift up. Try to keep your feet really parallel so the toes don't turn out to the side. And we're lifting the hips and probably the whole back off the ground. Try to hug with your inner thighs so that your knees don't splay wide. Keep those knees hip distance or a little closer. You can grab your ankles or interlace the fingers. Or if you feel like you need more, press your hands underneath your back and it might give you a little bit of extra lift if that feels good. Breathe. Give your knees a little hug into your chest, rock it out, massage your back. Let's do a little reclining twist. This one just will help you relax and release tension out of the back muscles. Drop both legs over to the right. Open your arms, head to the left. Body's super heavy and the breathing is really calm. Change sides, send your legs over to the left and your head over to the right and relax. Back to the center. Soles of your feet connect. Your knees are bent, dropping open into a diamond shape. And stay relaxed. You might put your hands on your belly or one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And make sure you can feel yourself breathing. Feel some expansion as you breathe in, and then the softening as you breathe out and release tension. Finish off with a little inversion. Stick your feet up into the air. And if you want to, you can drag yourself up to a wall and rest your feet against a wall to make this even more relaxing and restorative. It's really good to sort of invert the body and go upside down, especially for you guys who run. You're always on your feet and there's a lot of blood and lymph accumulating in your feet and your ankles and your knees. Sort of flip yourself upside down, just lets all of that drain out. And it brings lots of blood and oxygen back to our heart and our lungs and our brain, which heals the whole body and can energize us. So you might just stay here for a few breaths. If you want, stay here for up to 5 minutes. And especially if your feet are against the wall, just stay, enjoy, relax. And when you're ready, just snuggle up the knees. You can rock yourself up to sitting. If there's any other stretches that you like to do or need or have been prescribed by a physio, Kim, do those. If you need a little forward fold, go ahead and take it. I think that feels good. So off you go into your run or into the rest of your day. If you want to lay down for a couple of minutes and rest, that's a great idea. Get a little bit of stillness and let the breath and the body calm down. Thank you so much. I really hope you can find a way to find a little bit of time regularly in your week to add this in. I think it will make a big difference and hopefully help you and make you feel healthier and more vital and more awesome at whatever it is that you do. Namaste.